Great. Good morning. All right. So yesterday we have done that master branch concept, right? So master branch, it is done. Even conflict also we have done. A few comments are there. How to push the code from local repo into, GitHub. Let's see that. First, you need to create one account. You just go to github.com. Already, I shared the link. It is quite easy. Just using your Gmail address, you can go and create one repository. So let me create new repo. I'm sorry, using the Gmail, you can create account and you can create a repository. I'm just going back to creating the repo. Let me create. So here, let's give the repository name. You can give QA Flipkart application, right? Or let me give finance application. Okay, let it be finance application, right? So it is a repo name, and the global repo, it does two types, public as well private. Industry level, we used to go with the private. Without credential, nobody cannot able to clone or pull the code from the repository. So let me go with the private repo. And here, I'm just going to create the repository. So once if you create it, so it's going to be providing the prerequisites. How can we integrate with your local repo, with your remote repo? So we do have some prerequisites. Let it be. Again, we'll come back and add this remote repo into the local repo. Fine. So these are the files which we discussed. Right. So let me do git branch right now. I'm into this master. So git status, nothing. Need to commit, right? So these are the files. Let's consider we can push into the remote repository. Okay. So in this case, I can add that remote repository on your master. So when you are pushing the code, to make sure you have to be in the master. So master to master, you can push. Master to branch, you cannot. Let's consider here under the local repo, right? So we do have the master, and you can go with the remote repo. Here also you can able to, push the code into the master. Here, if you do have a branch, here if it is master, it cannot able to push the code. It will keep on throw the error. So both ends should be on the same place. Let's see here. First, let me add that remote repository. This is a command, right? So you need to add the remote repository. I'm just going to add, let's see. So I just added a remote repository. If you want to remove, you can use the command or remove. You can use remove as well. So yeah, sorry, not here. So here it should be removed, and instead of add, you just remove. You cannot able to add multiple repository in your local repo. So either, you can add one of this repo into the local. So that's quite important, right? So we just added that remote repository in local, and I'm just trying to push the code from the local repo. So I can copy this command. Let me try to push. It is not main, right? So we are trying to push into the master. All right. So again, you just go back to the code. So at this point, okay, just go back to the code repo. Okay, so right now we don't have code, so that's the reason it is not allowing me to go back. Now let's try to push the code into the master. I am trying to push the code. It's gonna be yes. See, now all the file, it is pushed into the master. You can see, go back here and go back to the code. See, all the file it is pushed. Git ignore file 10, 12, 13, 14, 2. All this file, it is pushed from local repo into centralized. Got it? So you can see by default it is created master. I did not create. So if it will check, you know, if there is master, it's gonna be clone, or else it will create and clone. I mean push. Makes sense. And here, if you want to do any changes, again, you can create branch from the master. So how we created master branch at your local repo. So you see, you can create master branch on your remote repo as well. I'm just going to create the branch, let's say here for dev environment, you know, for finance application. I just want to create this repository. So what are the files which it is on master, which is on master? It's going to be cloning. See here, I just switched into that dev finance application location, but all the files it is clone. Now here, if you want to create any file, I'm just going to create some file over here. Let's say it is index one.html, right? So this file, this is the demo for remote repo. So this statement, let it be, I'm just going to commit creator, you know, index one.html. So that would be the commit message. I'm just going to commit. So under your branch, we just created the file, right? But you can switch into the master. You are not able to see the particular file, right? So again, let me switch back into the dev finance branch. And here you do have the file. If I want to merge into the master, again, you just go back and send the pull request. So here I can create PR ticket, right? So I just want to compare between my branch and master. So it is comparing. Now you can see this file, I mean, one file it is changed, right? So this file we need to merge into the master. Again, I'm just going to create the pull request here, or let it be the committed message. Let's try to send that. Okay. So already we discussed up here, you can see the reviewer list. I mean, who want to, right? Who want to merge this code. So some authorized reviewers will be there, then they will go and merge. At this point, we don't have myself. I'm just going to merge. So once if I merge, then you can see the message which is merged. Perfect. So let you go back to the code and you can see the file which is index1.html. All right, so now you can see index1.html on master. So this file right now, which is not available in your local repo, you can see that, which is not available in the local repo. In this case, you can use pull command, git pull, and I can copy the origin when I say origin is nothing but URL, you just go and copy the origin. It's gonna be pulling only the modified files from the remote repo, you can see. So now it is added one file. You can see that index1.html from the remote repository into local repo. Makes sense? See this file, I mean, remote repository, it is going to communicating with your testing environment and your integration, your build, whoever, if they want to clone the code, all the developers, they pushed the code into that remote repository, and this URL let's share to that integration or build or testing team. Then they can clone all this file from the remote repository into their environment, and based on the requirement, let them touch our code. Make sense? So here, if I do git status, let's see here, git status, nothing need to commit because already we committed on your remote repo. So that's the reason it is not popping. Even you can see that. So git log hyphen online, you can see the logs as well. So git log hyphen online. See here, it's created. The, I mean, history ID. I did not create. Make sense? And even we created pull request, right? So those logs also it is cloned. You can see. Make sense? Right. Again, one more command is that git fetch. So git fetch is nothing but, before using pull command, you just want to check. I mean, if you want to do a double check whether there is some changes, does it happen or not, you can do this command. Using by that we could able to see the message. At this point it's not popping any message over here because there is no any change. Ideally we pulled all the code from the remote repo into local repo. Let's try to do some changes over here. I'm just going to add some statement under the file.txt. Let's see here. I'm just going to add a statement to demo for a fetch command. So it is not going to pull any code. You can see here, uh, but it will intimate you. So there is some changes happen. So you just go and pull the file. I mean changes file. You just pull. So change the second line. I'm just giving change the second line. All right. I'm just going to commit. So previously the git fetch, it was not popping any message, right? So the same command I'm just going to apply. Now you can see some message it is popping in remote itself. Some changes happen. Just if you need, you just go and pull. So I can go and use git pull command. It's going to be added the statement back to file. You just go back and see here. Perfect. Make sense? Is it clear? All right. So again, if you want to clone the entire repo, so I mean the new repo, if you want to clone, you can use git clone. Let me clone some repo. I'm just going to clone some Java application into my local repo. See, these are the public repo, right? So without their knowledge, I could able to clone. It's not going to be asking any password. You can see here, I just want to clone this repo. I'm trying to clone. So let's see here, git clone, and I can paste that URL. Now it is cloning the complete project into my local repo. You can see here, sample Java program, and again you can see uh, sample Java program. I just cloned the entire file. I just go back and expand this folder. You can see all the sub folders are here. So that is the major differ using git push, git pull, git fetch, and git clone. All right. Fine. So here again, if I go for git log -hyphen online, so you can see, oops, online, you can see multiple committed ID we do have, right? So now let's consider we do have the cleanup activity. So assume that we do have around 500 or 600 IDs are there, but at this point, these IDs are not required. Okay, at this point, IDs are not required. If you want to keep all this ID into one file, I can use git log -hyphen online, and this entire statement I just want to move into log. Mm, let's say application. I mean the file name. So I can say git app.log something. I'm just creating the file. So all the file it is moved into this. Sorry, all the history ID it is moved into this particular file. Now I can see this git app.log. I could able to see the committed history log. You just open git log, see all the history it is moved. Even you can see it over here. See here, all the history it is moved. So whenever if I do git log -hyphen line, if I do have huge committed history ID, so while tracking those history ID, it's quite complicated, right? If you move into one file, I can copy the file and put into Visual Studio wherever it's a editor tool. I can filter and you can go and pick the ID. All right. Now again, let's consider this message. I just want to edit the committed message. If you want to edit in the sense, I can use git revert command. Let's see here. Um, um, again, I'm just going back to see git log -hyphen online. So this message, any message, let's take it this message done by Savita, right? So instead of done by Ram, I just committed done by Savita. I just want to edit the committed message. In this case, I can use revert command. I can use revert command. When I'm using revert command, listen, revert is going to create new ID along with the existing statement with the new message. Make sense? See here, it is your existing ID, right? From the existing ID, it is going to create new ID. While creating new ID, uh, obviously new message will be there, right? So new message, new committed message will be there, but for an existing statement. So instead of, if I do git show with this statement, I mean git show this ID, it's going to be providing the statement. You can see statement should not get changed. Committed message ID should get changed, right? You can see here, I'm just going to copy this ID. Again, you can see git show. See, it is a statement done by Savita. Instead of the statement also, oh, I'm sorry, it is committed message. Git show, right? I have given. Oh, okay. Statement also it is same. Or else let me take this ID. Git show, git show. Okay. Yeah. So git, it's reflecting there. Git show. Yes. So now you can see onboarding app to AWS, but that message is different. I mean, we just copied this one, right? Created file 11. Instead of created file 21, I just created file 11 by mistake. I just want to change the committed message. you can see, I mean, the last history, it is changed second line. I just want to edit this message. So as I told you, the git revert command, it's going to generate a new id with a new message. But if I do git show command, the statement will be same. Let's see here. Git revert, and the id. If I do this, oh, some conflict I need to commit. I'm sorry. Git status. These are the files I need to commit. I'm sorry. Git add and git commit write it on a message. Simply I'm just writing a statement. Okay. So git status, nothing to commit, right? So now I can use git revert. Okay, some conflict is there. Okay, git hyphen about. So now let's see git show. Okay. File to added by yes. Okay. 12.txt. Okay. Return a message. Added. So git revert. Again, it is showing. Okay. Guitar. Let me delete at this point. I'm not sure what we have done. So I just deleted. Git status, just deleted. I'm just going to write it on message. So here I'm just deleting it. Real time, don't do like this. Okay, now git status. Okay, I'm just going to use revert command. What? Hyphen online. Let's see. I'm just going to copy any other's ID. Let me copy this one, or let me copy this one. So git revert 13. File 13 deleted by them. Interesting. I did not do this. Correct. We did not delete the file 13. Txt git commit return message and messages. Git. Yeah. Okay. So existing message, it will not pop up if I do this command. Now let's see git revert id. Okay, see, some IDs is relevant for this conflict. Okay, so let me use this. So if I can continue. Okay, so again, let me go back 1 minute. I'm just making the sequence. Let me go and copy any one of this ID. Git revert ID. Hyphen skip. Okay. It is remastered by 5 commands git book. Okay. So now git status nothing should not pop up. Okay. Git revert -- about. Revert failed in progress. Where we are in git branch. We are in master here. Git log. We just all the log right now we just kept inside of this file. Okay. Now we are in master, right? Okay. Git what? Or else let me do this any other ID. Sorry, I'm just making you confuse L. Some IDs are relevant for the conflict resolution, so that's the reason it is popping. Let me copy some other ID. Okay, so let me copy this ID. Git revert. Okay, it's not allowing me to do the changes of this committed message. Again, let me try one more ID, or else let's try to skip. It's not allowing. Why? Which file? File 3. Multiple we missed. Git add. Let me mention file 3.txt. Let me write it down. Message added. So now git revert. Again, which file? Modified. Git status it is. If I'm reverting, see here that ID is going to picking the history. See again it is picking. Oops. Okay. See, some conflict it is happening, keep on happening in the sense. So these are the IDs which it is, I mean, relevant of resolving the conflict. Somewhere we have done the conflict. So it is telling on master, you did not commit on master, it is not committed. But even I committed also, it is something picking from other history. So right now, let me skip a git revert command. Okay, but the syntax would be, this is the syntax. If you want to change the committed message, you can use git revert. See, very frequently we are not using in real time, but in in terms of changing that committed message ID, you can use git revert then ID. So that it will get changed. Fine. Apart from that, disaster command are there. Yes. So we do have some disaster command. Let's say git revert, that is the syntax. Okay.
Karthik, just a minute.
Yes.
So when you are explaining about the revert command, so when you are going to revert the committed statements in the local repo, so is that going to reflect in the remote repo as well?
No.
And if you have done any revert in the local repo?
No. See, when I stated git revert command is not reverting the file. It is changing the committed message. That's all. We cannot see here git log -- one line. Okay. I was copying the committed history ID to change this message. It is not going to reverting any file.
Okay, so you are telling like reverting the statement. So why we are doing actually means in the local repo once it is committed into a remote. So why we why this revert is required, and is it going to do any changes in the remote repo?
No. Again,
File?
you need to push. Again, you need to push. If you done any changes at local repo, you need to use push command.
Okay.
Then only it's gonna, it is going to be reflecting on your remote repo.
And it can be done in only in master branch, right? So
No, wherever. See, this message, if I want to change in branch also, you can do git revert. No problem, you can do. See, git revert is very simple function it does. If I'm using git revert in the sense, it's going to be changing the committed message. That's all.
okay.
It is not reverting any file. See, let's consider this file created by Navya. Okay, but this message by mistakenly I have given when I was committing. I just want to do this file done by Balaji. So I want to change this statement. So in this case, I can use git revert. So git revert using for changing the committed file statement. I'm sorry, committed committed history statement. Got it?
Yeah.
Okay, so we are not able to revert any files.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, two questions. So as you said, we can't revert the statement. Okay.
Yes.
From the committed that is merged in the master. So there is a scenario. So I deployed the code. Okay. After that, we found some bug. So there are thousands of lines in the file. So the developer changed different places. We don't know exactly where and all they changed. So I want to compare the existing code with the latest merge changes and revert the current merge.
Perfect. Great question. Okay. So shall I do practically?
Yes.
Okay. So let them understand. See what you are trying to say. You have file 20. Okay. So that file 20 you just committed into the local repo. Right now it is in local repo. So it is working directory local repo. Now the developer again, they want to do some changes. So again, he is doing some changes with the working directory itself. Now you want to compare what are the lines he did changes, correct?
No, I merged it to the master. Actually,
It is
file 20 already existing. So the developer again that made some changes in the file 20, they merged it to the master. Now I deployed the code to the application.
Oh, you mean to, okay, got it. So the developer is doing changes with his branch.
Yes.
Okay, then this
And
file
also,
it is in the master.
Also he merged it to the master.
Correct. He merged into the master. Now we want to compare the file between branch and master, right?
No, within the file, what are the changes the currently the developer changed and what was the existing code? So
correct. That is what I'm trying to understand. In this file, what are the changes he committed? Sorry, what are the statement he committed and what are the changes he has done? Correct.
Correct.
So we want to compare. Correct.
Correct.
Okay, I'll do that. So let's see. Probably it's very important. So git branch. I'm into this master. Let's say I'm switching into Savita branch. It's too much. Something I forgot to add. I'm not sure. Fine. So keep on popping this message. Let me write it on the message. Why? Fix that appropriate. Okay, file 12. Some statement. Let it be. Git checkout to where I'm in first. Let me check. Branch. I mean master. Okay. Git checkout.
Sir,
Yes.
I think Git revert will work with a new file.
Git revert?
Yeah, that revert commit we can change to a new file.
No, we did
Means
not change.
if we create a new file right now and do that revert statement for that, it will work. It worked for me.
Git revert about, right? You mean?
Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
that.
no, sir. Not that.
Hmm.
I'm saying the revert command was not working previously, right?
Correct.
So I created a new file here in my local repo and did the revert. I added it and gave the commit, and then again I changed the commit ID. So I used that commit ID and did, so it worked.
Correct. See, for me, what it is telling in the sense something conflict it is happening, right? So by
Yes,
mistakenly, I did not commit. So that is what the problem. Yeah, it will work. Yes.
yes, sir, it will work.
Yeah. So now, yes, I'm just going to create a new branch. Let's say I'm just creating branch for Vinay. Okay. So now I switch into Vinay. So Vinay, what he is telling, he is creating some file. Am I right, Vinay?
Yes.
Okay. So in your branch, let's say,
Actually,
yeah.
I'm not creating new file. I'm taking file from the master. Some
Okay.
file like existing.
Okay, perfect. Understood. So I'm just going to take the file, file one, can we?
Yes, yes.
Okay, so here, okay, so I can give the statement that this is 10 by Vinay. Okay, I'm just giving the statement. Now
Can you add
Vinay,
also some line in the fifth row? Can you add something?
okay, all right. So demo for Kubernetes. Okay, demo for Docker. Demo for Ansible. Demo for Spinnaker. Demo for OCP platform. Fine.
Enough.
Okay. So now let's see git status modified file one. All right. So now we are at your branch.
Yes.
Okay. I'm just going to add the file one.txt. Oops. File one.txt git file again. Git status, you can see file one, perfect. So now I'm just going to add file one just dot txt. Oh, it's copying all this file. Interesting. Git add the file one dot txt. Perfect. So I'm just going to commit the file, which it is added, or let me put this way, modified file one.txt. Perfect. So now, see, under your branch, you can see all the statement. Let me switch into the master. Yeah, I switch into the master. Now, it's telling, because what, see, this command, which it is nothing but if you do any changes, you try to push into the remote repo. Fine, we'll do that. Now, see, on your master, we cannot able to see the statement, right? Will I?
Yes.
Okay, now you can use git diff command, git diff and master and Vinay branch. It is comparing, okay, which it is file one.txt. So now you can see Vinay, the
Yes.
comparison.
Yes.
Makes sense?
Yes. But my question is,
Yeah.
I merged to the master.
Okay, you want to merge into, okay, just correct me. Let me do that.
Yeah.
Okay, so you want to merge into the master?
Yes.
Okay, fine. So I just want to merge Vinay branch into the master. Before I just want to confirm where I'm in. Okay, so git merge Vinay. Perfect. Now it is into the master. Yes. Go
Now
ahead.
I want to compare the file one.
Hmm.
So what was there before my merge and my current merge, and I want to compare the content of the file one.
No, after merging you cannot able to compare. Before merging
So,
only you can compare.
yeah, this scenario, right? Like now the developer merged and I deployed the code to the application. Okay. So they found some bug in the code. I want to revert to just the changes what was last developer done. And revert the code, entire code, and make it the what was existing the code only. Again, I need to deploy.
See, okay, understood what you were trying to say. After merged into the master, again, you want to see the existing developer changes, right?
Correct.
See, ideally, when you go for version control, it is getting append. See, if you are doing any changes, if I am doing any changes, until merging, you can compare.
Okay.
After merge, it is getting append with an existing file itself, right? You
Okay.
cannot able to compare. That is what yeah, that is what I was telling over here as well. When you are trying to merging, I mean, the reviewer will come and check. I mean, in the previous file, what was the statement, and in the new file, I mean, in the same file, what is the new statement? So once if the reviewer merged into the master, then that mistake belongs to him. By mistakenly, he has merged.
Correct. So he has merged, and see, I am the reviewer. I merged myself, and I deployed the code in the application. Then later we found that there is a bug in the later changes. So I want to revert the deployment and push the old code. So for that, right, I need to compare what was exactly the developer change in the existing code and revert those changes.
Correct. See,
Leave the existing code as it is.
Agree. See, now let you consider master into this production platform.
Yes.
Okay, so it is working fine. Now what you are doing in the sense, again, you want to do some changes with an existing statement. Right. So the existing statement, you have to do change at your branch, right? Okay. So then Vinay, he is sending PR ticket to reviewer, right?
Okay.
Reviewer is coming into this picture. They are comparing between master and your branch, right?
Right.
Okay. So now you are telling by mistakenly the reviewer merged into the master.
Yeah, because reviewer, he doesn't know the business rule. Correct. So just he compared and then it's.
All right. So now with this master code, it is going to be impact into the production, right?
Yeah, production or stage anywhere.
No. Okay. Let me put the QA. Fine.
Right.
Okay. So now again, the code, it is not executing on QA environment. Right. So what you are trying to ask me, I just want to deploy. I want to do rollback.
Yes.
Okay. So in this scenario, the existing code, I mean, let you consider version 1, it is running fine. Version 2, it is not running.
Correct.
So now you want to do rollback, not rollout.
Rollback, we do.
Yes. Yeah. We need to do rollback. So in this category, once the file, if it is getting appended, okay, we cannot able to do rollback and rollout. How can we achieve in the sense, you have to create folder which it is called environment. You can see all the environment in the GitHub. They used to create one folder which it is called environment.
Okay.
Under this environment, production will be there. Under this environment, QA will be there. Under this environment, dev will be there.
Okay.
Let me make the Git folder structure so then you can understand. See, code, it is getting up, and there is no doubt, but the Git the folder structure is there in real time. So under environment folder will be there. Okay, instead of the environment, you can able to see dev and QA and QA, and here prod will be there. So 3 folder will be there. Okay. I'm just explaining to you.
Yeah,
okay.
I'm following.
Yeah. So now under this folder, we do have 3, environment. Okay. Now, when you want to do any changes, 100% we are not going to touch the production code, right?
Correct.
Right. So your production code, it is there, no problem. And of course, initially we are going to touch QA, then we will go for QA, dev, then we will go for QA. And next to QA, one more stage will be the UAT.
Yeah, stage or UAT.
Yeah, user exception testing will be there. Fine. Now, now you want to do any changes, you have to clone from the dev. They will never allow us to clone from the production. Am I right or wrong?
Correct.
Right. So now I'm just cloning the code from dev. I'm doing some changes with that at my local repo. Now, when I'm deploying into this dev, it is not working, correct?
Okay, yes.
See, obviously that is the business flow.
Yeah.
Directly, nobody will never allow us to deploy the code into the production. You know that.
Correct.
So,
We are deploying the code in the QA because dev is the development area, right? The developer is developing the code and committed and merged it to the master. Now we migrated the code to the QA, that deploy the code.
correct. You just deployed the code in the dev environment or QA environment. Code is not running.
Yes.
Right. So now you just want to do roll back in this scenario.
Yes, in the QA.
I can clone from production into my local repo, then I can push it back into dev, right?
So that's all we have to do here.
Of course.
So here you have a branches, right?
In VSS,
In
right?
other statement.
Topic in VSS, right? So we have the versioning control, right? Like just like that, we can take the selected version. The code, right? You can take the selected version. You don't need to. There will be only one folder, so there will be multiple version for the single file. But still, you can take the content of selected version. So that is possible. So, but here is a different structure.
Of course. See, that is what I stated. When you go for the version control, we don't have any backup. Backup would be considered local and remote. In remote repo, you need to follow the folder structure. See, if I'm taking the folder structure, some freshers also are there. They may get confused. So that's the reason I did not touch this part. Git has folder structure. That is what I stated. Under the environment, based on your environment only, we used to push the code.
Yeah. So, and the question is here again, no, the production definitely will not be a permission for the developers. So they have to raise the ticket and get the code. This is pretty complicated.
Could you please repeat? I'm sorry, I missed you.
See, the developer is developing and they create and found the bug, right? Again, they need to get the code from the production. Like to
right. That's right.
It's, again, one more process, I'm saying.
Correct. Absolutely. See, ideally you can think, so technically, if it is keep on maintaining the version, where will you track the history? I mean, the committed history. See, it is huge. I mean, see, let's consider Vinay, he has done some changes. He's pushing into the master. When he is pushing into the master, does want to create new structure over here? Or do you want to get up and with an existing? That's what I was telling. So the code always, it is going to get appending with an existing file. It should not create new version folder structure over here. If it is keep on creating version for each merging into the remote repo, it's keep on tracking the version. So then which code are we planning to go and deploy it into this QA or dev? It has to get up, and that is the structure they have done in the Git. So Git functions, it's tracking the changes, but all the changes it's going to get append with an existing. So when you are, as you stated, if I want to do rollback or roll out, make sure you need to follow the Git structure. Git folder structure.
If you don't have the Git structure,
then obviously, see, you can see all the SLA document when they are pushing the code. The process flow. Or the process flow, you can see when they are pushing into the code, they will provide the path or they will provide the origin. Definitely over the SLA, they used to mention dev origin or QA origin. Prod origin will be in the last. So ideally, the production URL will never share to developer. As per my experience, I have seen that. We used to share, the dev and QA only we used to share. Production URL will not be there.
The production no one will do.
Yeah. That's correct.
Thank you.
No problem. Ravi, yes.
So in the earlier example in master, Vinay has already merged his code to master. We have another branches like Savita and Shekhar. They will be working in different files. So can't we compare their structure with the master one? we can find the difference, right? What exactly has been changed?
Yes, you can use git diff and you can mention master and Savita. Which branch you want to compare, you can compare. See, some change, some mismatch is there. Got it?
So even you can check the file which Vinay has modified. So he will come to know the differences.
Correct, definitely. That's fine. See, git diff command, when I'm using git diff, it is making the difference between working directory and local repo, or master and branch. That is a structure. So using by this git diff, you can compare in working directory. Let's say when when I in his branch itself, he want to compare. So he can compare what is untracking file, what is tracked file. Sorry, what is the tracked statement, untracked statement on the same file. Correct. Under the file 10, he has created 10 statement under the working directory, but here he has done only 7. Or here also let you consider 10, but again he has done some changes over here within the 10 statement. He can compare. So using the git diff is nothing but compare.
Sir, but once we merge Savita's ID also, it will not show git difference, I think.
No. Okay, so practically let me show. That's correct. See, let's see. I'm just going to master. You can see file. Okay, 33.txt. I'm just creating some statement. Let's see. Welcome to let's say Ravi. Okay, so welcome to, let's say, Bangalore. Okay, I'm just passing this statement instead of file 33.txt, right? So now you can see here file 33. I just passed welcome to Bangalore. I want to commit. Let's say it add the file 33.txt. I'm just going to commit, write it down your message. Created a file 33.txt. Okay, so again you can compare here. I'm just going to add some statement. Okay, let me create some statement. Welcome to Chennai. All right. Okay, so this statement I just want to pass into again file 33.txt. So now it is added one more statement, right? Now you can compare git diff. Okay, file 33, correct? So now we can see welcome to Chennai. It is not yet committed. When it is popping green color, it's representing it to commit. When it's popping white color, it is committed. Now again, I'm just going to commit. You can see git add. Let me use together git commit -a-m added. Okay, so now I'm going to use git diff command. It will not show any output. You can see. So there is no changes.
Karthik?
Yes.
Actually, the what we discussed, right? Still, it won't be the solution, because the QA, we have the code, so we are working like past 1 month, different changes. So we found that bug in the last changes. So when we replace the production code, right, again we will lose everything, right? So for the tester also will be difficult. So it won't resolve my issue.
Which one you mean?
See, in the QA we have the code, right?
Correct.
So the developer is working like 1 month. There are multiple changes happening and multiple testing is happening.
Okay.
So we found some bug in the last changes. So as I mentioned, right, we are moving the code from production to QA. Then I will lose all the previous changes.
No. See. No. See, when you are cloning from the production, see, if you want to see, ideally, if you want to do any changes with the production code, you have to clone into a local repo. Don't, clone into QA. We are not going to touch QA.
Okay.
We are cloning this production code into a local repo and do the changes at your local repo itself.
But I lose the current changes, right?
No, see, already all the files you pushed into remote repo, right? So where you are losing the code. See, let you consider ABC statement you created, you pushed into the remote repo, correct? Which it is in QA. Then it will goes to, sorry, first one dev, then it will goes to QA. And from the QA, they used to go for mirror copy, right? For the production. Correct. So now, which is running code in the production, I just want to clone. You cloned into a local repo.
Okay. With
So
a different name?
where, no. See, same naming convention is not. It is not going to make any sense. See,
Okay.
whatever the code previously you created, it is in the remote repo, right?
Okay.
So you did not lose any code. At any given point of time, the code it is at remote repo.
No. So here the exact question is like in the QA. Okay, just leave the now local repo. QA, right? QA, the application people development is working for 1 month. So they are making different changes and the testing is going continuous process. So suddenly they found some bug in the QA code. Okay.
In the QA itself. Okay, got it.
QA code.
Okay.
So
Okay.
I want to divide only the last changes. Okay. So last changes. So when we, like as you mentioned, like when we clone from pod, I will be getting the code like 1 month old code because the previous like 1 month before which was deployed.
Correct.
So, but in the QA, there are a lot of changes happening within this month. And that only one bug found in the last change. So I want to revert only the last change, not the entire month.
See here, you have done the code, you pushed into QA, am I right?
Correct.
Now QA, top of QA environment you deployed, but some bugs are there, right?
Yes.
Okay, see, when you are deploying directly, we are not going to deploy the code. We used to build as a war file or jar file or YAR file, am I right?
No, I'm not sure this.
No, it's true. Artifact
Okay.
ID will be there.
No, I'm saying I'm not aware of this.
Okay. Artifact ID will be there. Okay. Did you heard about JFrog tool?
No, because
J
I used to do only DB, right? I'm not aware of this application things.
Understood. No problem. See, we do have JFrog tool. I will show you here. So using by this JFrog tool, we can keep all the version control. JFrog Artifactory tool, you can see here, it is widely we are using. Okay. So once they pushed the code into the GitHub repo, and obviously if I'm using Java in the sense, I can use Maven. If I'm having .NET in the sense, I can use Ant, and Python directly we can deploy. Node.js directly we can deploy. NPM server we need, and Spring Boot, yes, we can. And VSTS, one more build tool also are there. Gradle are there. So ideally, these all are the build tools. Okay. See the entire code you can see here. This project we are going to walk through. In this project also you can see we do have artifact ID. See here, they clearly stated you just make it as a package manager, which it is .var. So the entire code, I'm just going to compile in a single package. See, when you're downloading any VLC player in Windows, .exe will be there, right?
Correct.
You're going to extract the exe, then all the package will get installed. So it means so all the code they compiled and put into one package.
Okay.
Correct. So when you are pushing the code, all this code you can push into GitHub, and that is what I stated. When I'm using testing or build or integration tool, it is going to pull the code from GitHub. Practically, we are going to see. Okay, anyhow, I just want to make the process flow. Now, once it is builded, it's gonna be .var or .jar and .var something. I mean .yar. So once if we compiled any one of this package manager, then we can carry forward to the deployment. See, ideally we do have two pipeline, one which it is continuous integration pipeline, another one which it is release pipeline. So that is what we are calling CI and CD.
Got it.
Okay, so you are working only the CI part, you are not going to touch the CD part.
Yes. Okay.
Right. And again, CD has two category. continuous deployment is differ, continuous delivery is differ. So continuous delivery tracking the version version control from the artifact. See here, now I want to display welcome to Bangalore, that is version 1. Next I want to display welcome to Chennai, that is version 2. Next I want to display welcome to Delhi, so that is version 3. This version, yes, I would agree, you can keep at JFrog 2, but we are not having any versions for your code level. We are having the version control for your package manager. Making sense? I feel may get confused, but when I'm doing the practically, you'll get the clear picture.
Yes, Karthik.
Okay, so again, my answer, see, what are the changes if you are doing it? It is going to get happened with an existing. It is not going to creating new folder structure on GitHub. No.
Okay.
Okay, but for each build, we do have version control.
Yes.
Using by artifact 2. That is what these are the open source. I mean, it is license based.
Yeah, got it.
Right.
Because I used to do only DB, right? So DB we don't follow.
No, agree. No problem. No problem. See, these all are knowledge transfer. I'm not be aware of DB. So you are being strong in that. Might be I'm into this development and operation. I'm in strong into that. These are KT transfer. Okay.
Thank you.
No problem. No problem. All right. Cool then. I think so. We are running out of time. No problem. We'll again meet up on tomorrow. So tomorrow, what are we going to discuss in the sense? Tomorrow we are going to start Jenkins. So from tomorrow onwards, 8 to 9 a batch it is done. So I will be free from tomorrow onwards. Still new badge they did not onboard it due to this pandemic. If you guys okay, can I stretch this time? Can we make 1.5 hours or 2 hours? Is it fine for you?
Yes, sir. Yes.
No, I need from
1.5 hours okay, but 2 hours.
okay, agree. 1.5 hours. Is it fine for everyone?
Okay, fine from my side.
Okay,
Okay.
I won't be able to join last half an hours if it is extending till 8:30.
Yeah, till 8:30 we can plan until onboarding new batch. Fine.
So I have AWS class 8 to 9. So
Yeah,
Oh.
I too can't able to join. I should log in at 8 o'clock.
Okay. So what can we do? Then fine. Then we can follow 1 hour session. No problem. So I do have bandwidth, so that's the reason I just want to check with you guys. If you're okay, we can proceed. If you're fine, I think so 2 people only are facing the problem. Rest of they accepted. If you guys okay for the 30 minutes, if you're going to look into the video in the sense, I can proceed, or else no. Arun and one more.
yeah, it's okay for me. I go with the recordings.
No problem. Okay.
Yeah, Karthik.
Karthik, Jenkins tomorrow started.
Shiva, sorry, Shiva.
Karthik,
Yes.
Jenkins tomorrow.
Not it started. Tomorrow we are going to start.
Hello.
Tomorrow we are going to start.
Hello.
I think so. He has lost.
Before Maven and Tam Karthik, tomorrow. Hello.
Yes, Shiva.
Tomorrow, Maven Tomcat explain, bro.
Maven Tomcat explain. No, Shiva, you just follow my sequence. Okay. Okay, no worries.
Okay. Okay.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.